Today we're going to be talking about agreement, and hopefully my computer will function and I won't have to scream at it in frustration again. Wish me luck, we'll see. So remember that in Spanish, when you have a noun, it can be either masculine, feminine, singular, or plural. So when you have an adjective that describes that noun, it has to match. The adjective also has to be masculine, feminine, singular, or plural. So if an adjective naturally ends in an O or an A, for example, like bajo or short, the singular masculine version would be bajo, the singular feminine version would be baja, the singular or the plural masculine version would be bajos, ending in an OS, and the plural feminine version would be bajas, in an AS. That's like pretty straightforward. If you have an adjective that naturally ends with an E, so like grande or inteligente, then there's no difference between the masculine and feminine form. Both of them are going to be grande, or both of them would be inteligente. But if they're plural, you have to add an S at the end. So grandes, grandes. If you have an adjective that ends in a consonant, then, for example, joven, young, the singular masculine form would be joven, the singular feminine form would also be joven, so they don't change. The plural form, you have to add an ES. So if you have an adjective that ends in a consonant and not a vowel, you have to add an ES to make it plural. Jovenes, plural, is a word that we end up putting an accent on when you make it plural. Not all adjectives are like that. It's just certain ones. I put a question mark here because there's actually no way to tell the difference between these adjectives and these adjectives that end in a different type of consonant. So, for example, trabajador or hardworking, if you're going to make this feminine, you have to add an A to it. So here it's the same form, but here you have to add an A to make it feminine. And then if you're going to make it plural masculine, trabajadores, so again you have to add an ES to make it plural, but the feminine version would be trabajadoras with an AS. And again, I put a question mark here because you just have to memorize which adjectives you put an A at the end and which ones you don't. Okay, so a little bit of practice. The funny boy. So when you have an adjective in Spanish, the adjective comes. Oh, I don't know. I wrote that in English. When you have an adjective in Spanish, the adjective actually comes after the noun and not before. So in English, we would say the funny boy. In Spanish, you would say the boy funny. So the funny boy. We know that it's one boy, so it's singular. We know that it's masculine, so it's going to be L. And then boy, chico. And then funny, comico. So it matches singular masculine, singular masculine. Okay, the young girls, we know that it's girls, so it's feminine. We know that it's plural, so it has to be las. And then girls, chicas. And then the plural form of jovenes, we know that we have to make joven plural by adding an ES. And then we add an accent just because that's how this word is. Okay, the studious woman, we know that it is feminine. And we know that it's singular, so it's going to be la. And then woman, mujer. And then studious would be estudios, and then we know that it's feminine and singular, so estudiosa, feminine singular. The disorganized men. So men is plural, and we know that it's masculine, so it has to be los. And then men would be hombres, los hombres. That doesn't look great. And then disorganized. Desorganizados. Plural and masculine, plural and masculine. Okay, the intelligent students. In Spanish, if it doesn't specify that it's all women, we automatically assume that it's going to be masculine. If there is a room of 100 people, 99 are women, and there's one man, it still has to be masculine because, it's kind of sexist, but whatever. The intelligent students, los estudiantes, has to be plural and it's masculine because it doesn't tell us that it's women. So, intelligentes, plural and masculine, plural and masculine. And then the small person, la persona, we know is always feminine, and it's singular, la persona, and then small, pequeñ. Oh my gosh, this is killing me, this marker. Pequeña, singular, feminine. So if you have any questions, let me know.